Is it? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let's hope so. I guess I should have went to the chat earlier. So let me know if you guys can hear me. I think I took care of the problem here. If you guys are still there. This is really weird. I don't know why it's doing this. Art volume. Now I can hear you. Okay, good. There's a major delay in this chat too. Yeah, I think when I installed or moved this microphone, I hit the mute button. So I apologize, you guys. It's not very professional, but these things do happen. I don't even know why they have that damn button on this thing. It's more of an annoyance than anything. Up. So yes, we have taken care of that problem. So how is everybody? Maybe I should do my introductions again. Yes, this is going to be weird. I'm going to have to go back in time. I have to go back in time and explain everything I just said. So I'm going to ink this page. Well, this page I inked a couple days ago, but it's finished now. So I just wanted to show this off. This is page 19. And I know that we're page 35, or wait, let's see what page we're actually on here. We are on page 35. Yeah, we're on page 35. And I know these are pages 18 and 19, and we're going a little out of order. But once these two pages are colored, then we'll have up to 35 pages done of Chrono Mechanics. So that's pretty darn good. It's a 48-page story at this point, and we're still hoping to get to that 60-page because that would be ideal. I have some really killer stuff to add to the story if we can get to that point. You guys can hear me. Speakers just blew it. I mean, no, yes. Did you say something? Yeah, I was. Yeah, so I'm gonna be inking. Like I said, this one's done, but I'm gonna be inking this page for you guys live. So I'm gonna be doing that, and I was just kind of catching you up on today's events. I was going to go live with Mark Poulton, who is the co-collaborator on Graveyard Shift, and he was going to come in and we're going to talk about his new Indiegogo campaign. But I've had workers here all day installing the new heater. So we got a new furnace. Well, we got two. We have one downstairs and we have one upstairs. So quite expensive, but it is really nice and toasty here. So for the last week, we've been a little cold here. So we got these little electric blankets that we've been putting on our laps and trying to stay warm. And the studio especially is cold because it's above the garage. So there's nothing underneath to, no insulation or anything really. And it's been raining here in California, so it's been a little chilly. So yeah, we got that. So that's why I couldn't go live with Mark today. So I apologize, Mark, or if anybody's listening that was looking forward to talking about Mark's new project. We did not get to it, but we were, before I misspeak. Yeah, we are going to do it tomorrow. We're going to interview him. I'm going to interview him tomorrow, and he'll be promoting his new Indiegogo campaign, which looks really cool. And like I said, he is the co-writer, and I'm not sure if he's co-creator on Graveyard Shift, but we'll find out. We'll find that out tomorrow. And he also worked on DC book, Hawkman New 52 that I was working on. I think he was Rob Liefeld's co-creator or co-author on that. So he wrote the Hawkman series that Joe Bennett and myself did the art on. And it was pretty good. It's pretty exciting stuff. So he's a really good writer, and he's a really cool guy. So we're gonna have fun tomorrow. It's gonna be around 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. So what is that, 4:30 Eastern Time, which is what he's on. So that's cool. Are you going to sell any other of those pages? Oh, yeah, maybe I will put up a new page for the Indiegogo. The Chrono Mechanics pages have been selling like hotcakes. I put a new page up and they sell within days. So I think we've sold about 4 or 5 pages plus the cover. I'm kind of debating whether to sell some of the variant covers, but I really like the artwork so much. I'm probably not going to do that because I have an original Tom Bancroft and I have the original for the Caravaggio done by Carlo Barbieri. So I'm not sure if I'm going to sell those because they came out pretty cool and I really like them. So we got Shinto. Hey, what's up? What's up? Heaters. Yeah, it does get warm and it's probably not really cold here by the rest of the world or the rest of the country standards, but it is cold by California standards here right now. Looks great, man. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sierra Whiskey. I appreciate it. And I was saying too, I think there's a lot of competition right now tonight. So I appreciate anybody. Well, slow down, Art. I just had a bunch of caffeination, a bunch of caffeine. So I know there's a lot of competition tonight. There's a lot of people streaming. So I appreciate everybody in the chat hanging with me. And I should probably start doing some work here. Oh, cool. So he's doing some work here. That's cool. Yeah, I think that's the fun part of the drawing streams is we can all draw along and hang out, and we'll have drawing buddies, our little draw buddies. Oh, the vault. Yeah. Oh, Sierra got to see the mess that is the T-Bear vault. Yeah, he was over here a couple days ago, and we did a live stream too. It was a lot of fun, and he was promoting his upcoming book, which looks very, very cool. So that's awesome. Yeah, these blue lines are a little hard to see, but the inks will be cool. Trying to figure some of the arm structure is a little weird to me, so I ran over these little smudge right here. I ran over this with my frickin' chair. The page had slipped. It just slipped down and I didn't see it. And when I came back to the board here, I had run it over. These little things happen. So I think I'm going to bring Oot's face in a little bit here. He's a little wide. Okay. So this all looks good. Fist looks good. Let's bring it in maybe a little bit here. Little thick. Zin's elbow stands out a little too much. Let's bring this in. So these are Render Contenders breakdowns based on my layouts. So also I had went in and I digitally kind of tweak stuff, the layouts and things as well. So this is a little bit of a jam here. So part of it is me, and part of it is Render. He's very, very talented, and he really takes the art direction very well, which is it's very important when you're working with somebody, because if you can't really connect with them and explain and have them be able to understand what you're talking about, it's almost impossible to work anything out. So I'm real fortunate that he gets what I'm saying and he understands a lot of my visual shorthand. And he's studied like crazy these character designs. So he really understands how these characters are constructed, because they are a little peculiar. I don't mind saying, but I kind of wanted to design something that had a cool aesthetic, but was not necessarily overly attractive at the same time. I guess not like Disney, a little where the designs were a little challenging, a little bit more, I guess, on the ugly side. That's probably not a good selling point, but it's the best way I can explain it. So they're not. There's some people that think this is cute, but I don't think of it that way. Yeah. And also, it's really not an adult. It's not an adult. Listen to me. It's not a kid book. I think kids can read it and can enjoy it, but it's kind of more like Simpsons, Futurama. So there's some edgier, more adult type humor in the book. So I kind of had to do some rebranding as the campaign was going, because a lot of people thought it is kind of an all ages, but it really depends on your kid's sensibilities. So it's not really a kid's book. It wasn't written as like, with a little kid sensibility in mind. When I say Doug is a 70s rock star with all the sex, drugs, and rock and roll aspects to it, that's what I mean by 70s rock star. He's kind of a womanizing alcoholic, slacker. He's a likable slacker, but he's a slacker nonetheless. And work to him is a 4-letter word. He does not like it, and he does not respect it. So when he gets recruited to take over for the fallen member, it's not exactly it's not exactly a marriage made in heaven. Yeah. Team 9.2 of Sector 7, 3 guys here. This is Zen, Oot, or this is Zen, Caravaggio, and Oot, and they're not real happy with this guy because they got a job to do and they got a limited amount of time to do it. So they don't have time for shenanigans, as they say. Yeah, so I'm just kind of putting these boots more in perspective. I kind of changed them a little bit from Render's initial. I think he had the legs were longer, so I moved them up digitally. Oh my gosh, digitally. Yeah, I'm not used to talking and working too much. So yeah, I'm just kind of putting them in perspective and kind of putting them more on model. So some of these shapes aren't exaggerated enough for the extreme downshot that it is, but it's okay, man. I do really appreciate Render's work on this, and the reason I brought Render in to help out on some of the pages, he's not going to do all the pages, but he's helping out on some of the pages, is so I could get it done and get it to you guys faster. Because black and white was a little bit of a challenge to be kind of a one-man show and try getting everything done. So it's good to have somebody that could do some of the heavy lifting here with me. I'm going to move this hammer up. It's a little too far back. Some of the wrenches too, but I'll bring that up digitally. It'd be a little bit too hard to draw, and it's easy to kind of move up digitally. And this right here, I always tell people, like, draw through. Make sure you draw through stuff so you can find, because you can see his line. His line was a little bit in too far. So you can kind of find out like where everything would be by drawing through the figure or whatever, you know, is obstructing things. All right, I'm going to put this boot on model and in perspective, and then I'm going to start inking for you guys, because I'm sure it's a little hard to see the pencils, I think, and the blue lines don't really pick up that well. So I'm trying to get this done as quick as I can so I can get to the good stuff. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, man. This is cool. I've had workers in here all day just making a bunch of noise and cussing like sailors. Yeah, some guy he sliced open his hand on some of the. They had to do some tin work, and this stuff gets sharp, man. So I was just as I was working on this, I was just thinking, this is what the Chrono guys go through, you know. They get their knuckles busted, and you know, they get all kinds of. You know what? I don't think this foot is right at all. I think it's too far over. It needs to be more coming at you, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, that's better. I think I'm just going to leave it loose like that, and then I'll come back to it. Sometimes when I come back to it, I can see if it's working or not. So I think that's it. I just broke a new nib in, so this is going to be cool, you guys. It's going to be exciting. Good evening. We got diversity in. Wait, where'd that go? Hey, it just moved. We have diversity in comics. How are you? We have. Hey, I cuss like a sailor. Are you a sailor? And hey, how are you? You potty mouth sailor, you. Brian M. Tin work is a lot of fun. Ask me how I know. LOL. How do you know, Brian? I'll play along. How do you know? Are you a tinsmith? Are you a tin worker? A tin knocker, as they say. Sheet metal. Oh man, it just shifted again. It shifted twice. I'm sorry, Victor. Sheet metal, like insulation and ducts. Yes, exactly. They had to like retrofit, which was a working title actually for Chrono Mechanics, this issue. So we have like the cooling, like the forced air, the cooling system works with the furnace. So there's nothing wrong with the coil with the air condition, but this is a 25-year-old system, so they had to kind of retrofit and build like a space in between the coil and the heater. So they did that with tin. So maybe it was sheet metal. Tin is soft, right? It was probably sheet metal, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because I think tin is too soft. It would bend. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy, Zach. Where's yeah, boy, Zach? Uh, Chet Aaron's couple weeks. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Aaron's a lot of fun, man. He's got a really dry wit, but but I really really enjoy it. Yeah, it's funny because he can come off kind of as a grump, but he really isn't. He's absolutely hilarious. Oh, I wanted to. This kind of reminded me of it. To all, like, share, have a great time tonight. Thank you. Um, uh, I guess I've heard a lot of YouTubers talk about this, but I guess what YouTube does is they purge every once in a while, and when they purge, a lot of people get dropped out. I'm not sure why they do this. Some people say that's because they want to get rid of the riffraff, like they just want corporate. They want it to benefit the corporations and stuff. So little channels like mine, they're trying to get rid of. So if you could like and check your subscription and make sure that you're still subscribed if you like the content, because they are bumping people. And the sad thing is, you guys, like every little sub I get, I look at as like a victory, like a fought victory. And so this past week, my numbers have been going down, of all things, and it's kind of demoralizing. Not that I overly get obsessed with, I need the numbers or any of that stuff, but it does get a little bit like disheartening, especially if you hear, like, if indeed YouTube is doing what people are saying they are, because then it's for no other reason than just to try to I guess get rid of the riffraff or make it harder for people like us to establish a following. Because when I said the numbers were going down, oh my gosh, what was it, last week or in the week before, you guys were like really supporting and liking and subscribing and getting the word out, and the numbers were going up, the sub numbers. And then this week, man, it's been sad. It's been sad times, because this is my advertising platform. This is where I can, connect with you guys and get the word out about, books that I want to do, and ways of entertaining you guys. And, it's only important to me, the subs, based on that I can reach more people and that I can help promote, these projects that I'm working on. Because I don't have, like, I'm not DC and Marvel where they have deep pockets and they can advertise, which actually they don't do much of anyway, but they potentially can, and they do, and they're able to do a lot more than I am. They should do more, but they don't. So it's just me and you guys. It's just this humble little YouTube existence, which I'm absolutely enjoying. I like drawing for you guys. I like talking and hanging out and putting comic books together for you guys. So if you haven't heard, I have a little book called Chrono Mechanics that is up on Indiegogo right now, and I think we're a little under 2 weeks from shutting the campaign down. So we're getting to the wire now, the scary time. And we hit our initial goal, which is cool. Thank you guys so much. But realistically speaking, to make this campaign work in any real effective way, where I can not only pay people and not, have to pay them out of my pocket, but that maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to make a little bit of cash too, to help sustain my existence a little longer, so I can keep making comic books for you guys. That's the goal, at least. So sometimes most of the time I'm not really comfortable talking about this stuff, but I'm really trying to learn how to talk myself up and projects, because it doesn't come easy for me, because I think it's mostly because most of my career has been at Marvel and DC, and those guys do that for the most part. They advertise, they get the word out. So this is all new for me. Even when I worked at Image Comics, I was part of a studio structure. So I worked at Extreme Studios. If you guys don't know, that was Rob Liefeld's studio. And like the studio and Image promoted a lot of the stuff I did. So it was a different time. So this is kind of new for me, advertising and talking about these projects, and I realize that the only life that these projects are going to have is the one I bring to it. And that's not only just drawing it, but it's also doing stuff like I'm talking about right now. And it sounds easier said than done. I've said this before, but I think that people that have been in the indie arena longer than me have an advantage over me, because even though I have a 35-year career at Marvel and DC, those guys know the indie market. Those guys know how to get the word out, how to do guerrilla marketing and all those type of things. So I'm a fast learner, but they definitely have it up on me. And then how to also just talk about your projects, get the word out, but at the same time, keep the work up, get the work done, keep a schedule. I think this wrench is a little big, but I'll shoot it down digitally. I really like digital now because I can make a lot of corrections in the digital process. So I'll scan the stuff in, and then I'll kind of augment things, make things smaller, bigger, move things around, stuff like that. And it's a lot easier than redrawing stuff, and it's a lot faster. So sometimes I'll just ink things, even though I know that they're not where I want them to be, but I know that I can change them or fix them digitally. It doesn't take me that much time. I think it would take me more time to redraw it than it would to kind of restructure it digitally or move it around. So I know you guys hear me bitch and moan a lot about Photoshop and stuff, but it does have its benefits, and I do understand that, and I am thankful for it. But my gosh, man, it's a lot of times for me, it's a pain in the ass. I dislike it. Caravaggio is literally pointing the finger at Doug right now. Ya bum. Doug just wants to get back to his ladies, as he calls them. People keep going, well, where are the ladies in this book? Oh, they're in the book. Doug is a sexist pig. I think of Doug as being a cross between Ted Nugent and Steven Tyler. So he's definitely of the 70s era. And so Doug is a singer, guitar player. So that's why the Ted Nugent and Steven Tyler. I just thought Steven Tyler had a great overall rock voice. I've been listening to a lot of Aerosmith lately, and it's funny because I don't know if they truly get the cred, but they are like the biggest, I think, like hard rock US band. I think most hard rock is all British. So I think, I don't know if they get enough credit for being, one of the premier, American bands. Yeah, I don't really like what was it, Aerosmith in the 80s or 90s when they started doing all the rock ballads and all that. I didn't like that. I like the early 70s stuff. They do Walking the Dog, and they do Train Kept a Rolling, the old Yardbird song live. That thing kicks ass. Of course, the title track, Toys in the Attic, is freaking phenomenal. And then Draw the Line. Man, Draw the Line has one of the best album covers. They have a Hirschfeld version of the Aerosmith guys on the cover, and it's so cool, man. I think Hirschfeld was it's kind of a cartoonist, was it, for the New Yorker? He did a lot of, like I think it was all ink work. I always liked that guy's style. I thought it was really cool, and I love black and white work. I love ink. So I guess it's a good thing I do this for a living. I gotta figure this out. This is weird. I think this forearm. Yeah, it could work. It's way up here though. And the hand just looks weird. I wonder if it's because of this palm. Hold on. I know this isn't interesting. Maybe if I just bring the palm in and then bring this around. That looks odd too. I'm going to keep it the way it was. So here it is. Decisions being made. There's no turning back now. Once it's in ink, there's nothing you can do. There's no turning back. I hope this resolution is good. I have not mastered this doggone camera yet. So it looks good from where I'm at. Let me go to the chat. Okay. Is that, wait. Hey, Eric. Eric and I have been in like everybody's chat for the last hour or so. How you doing, Eric Weathers? Bless baby. What? Gotta go. God bless. And Baby Yoda will save the youth of the world. Just saying. Believe. You gotta believe. I believe I can fly. I'm gonna jump off the roof right now and see if it's true. No, I'm not. Oh, how could I forget? Kiss is a hard rock band. That's true. I don't know. I don't think they get the props, and I don't think they get the respect of a band like Aerosmith does, musically speaking. They are definitely a big, huge American act, though. You are right there, Victor. Oh, thank you, man. Matt Kevlar LaRock. I like the LaRock. He rocks and rolls. Hey, Art, I love your style. Frega's MIA. So I'm hanging with you tonight. Well, thank you, man. Thanks, Matt. Very cool. Yeah, so I think he's flying out here. So he's going to have to fly through some storms because I believe we're getting some rain here tonight. But I think he's going Northern California, so they always get like more rain and snow and stuff than we do anyway. So he's probably gearing up for it. I am going to have to look up these bags here and see if I'm putting them on model or not. Oh, I found a bunch of drawings, you guys, some early production stuff and behind the scenes, because I'm going to put the sketchbook together, the work in progress Chrono Mechanics sketchbook. So I'm going and I'm looking at different, artwork I have, like going back into the T-Bear archives, as it were. All right, that looks good. Man, that wrench is absolutely enormous. Yeah, okay, so that looks good. This hammer looks way too big, too. This is why, you guys, it's good to draw through things. Always draw through. Yeah, that looks good. I think I'm going to straighten this line out a little bit. So I do like a lot of these dots and dashes with the style. I think it looks really cool, and it looks really unique. It looks unique to American comics. It's kind of a European Mobius thing. So I'm definitely channeling Mobius. That guy, he just amazes me every time I look at not only the amount of work that he put out in a career, but just the variety of styles, the different ink techniques. He would paint, draw. He did everything. And I would love to be able to manage my career that way, where I could, do all these different things and just experiment and to draw in different styles the way he did. Because I have just a bunch of ideas and ways that I would like to approach comic books. But when I was working at Marvel DC, I was mostly working with other people. And then there's also kind of a house style that you sometimes have to work in. Not that I ever really did. Actually, at Marvel, I helped create the house style in the 90s. So there. But I still kind of, after a while, I felt like I was almost typecasted, and people expected me to ink in that. They called it the West Coast look. Anybody that was around at that point and was familiar with like Jim Lee's style and Will's Protashio, Scott Williams, and myself, our styles, that was kind of the West Coast look. And then, Liefeld and even like Silvestri kind of adopted the style a little bit. They filtered it through their own sensibilities, so they weren't just ripping it off or anything, but it was kind of a derivative. And I think the reason I was looking forward to Image And I think it's weird looking back that I made the grade because they wanted me to work in that style. But as soon as I went over to image, I kind of didn't want to draw like that anymore. So black and white was that's another creator-owned book I've done. And so black and white was a big experiment for me to draw in a different style, even though there is a derivative and it is definitely of that style, but I tried to bring some different aspects to it. So it was an experiment, even though it might not seem like it's a major departure, but it was enough of a departure for me to give. Sometimes you want to change it up and you want to try different things. So it was enough departure that I felt creative and like I was doing something kind of unique or something different, even if it was just to entertain myself. But yeah, I would really like to be able to work more in different styles. And so Mobius is one of those guys that I've always liked. If you guys also, this is so, no one really talks about this, and it's probably because the book is really, really popular and it's taboo. Ooh, I'm going to say something taboo. Is that if you look at Dave Gibbons' style, especially in The Watchmen, that style is Lieutenant Blueberry. I have some books I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to debunk this. So talk amongst yourself. I'm going to have some more green tea. So let me see if I can find it. I got my bookshelf over here. And I will show you. That's not it. Is this it? No, it's not it. Aha! I found it! Ugh. I found a bunch of other books too. These things, I got a lot of these books when I went to Canada. They have like these cool stores in Canada where they just have these more graphic novel format, and they're in like music stores and stuff. At least they were. So this is very Alex Toth looking. So I'm not sure if it's because I always thought like Alex Toth was looking at some of these European guys. Just look at that. It's killer. But here it is. So this is the Lieutenant Blueberry stuff. So, oh man, it's, a book's well loved when it starts falling apart like this. So you'll be able to see like some of the Chrono styling in here. But look at these panels and stuff and the faces. Let me see if I can find a real kind of Dave Gibbons kind of derivative. I'm not saying that Dave swiped it, but he's definitely inspired, as I am as well. Man, this book is totally these pages aren't even connected anymore. Oh my gosh, look at this train shot. If you guys have not picked up this Lieutenant Blueberry stuff, I just think like the structuring and the hatchwork and stuff, it just looks like a Dave Gibbons drawing to me. Look at all of this stuff going on. Man, I would love to just have this kind of time to. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This guy's profile. Even some of the hatchwork looks like Dave Gibbons. But yeah, so good, so good, so well loved. It's falling apart. But yeah, like all this stuff. I think it looks like the faces look like Dave Gibbons. Like even this shot, the way it's structured, laid out, looks like a Dave Gibbons. Like I said, I'm not trying to take anything away from Dave, but definitely, I'm a face guy, so I look at faces. But look at this shot here. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And this, I mean, he paints too, so this is his painted cover. And then, yeah, there's volumes of it. So I got this one as well. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Just so outside the box with the hatch work. I also believe that this is where, what is his name? Travis Charest kind of gets some of his stuff from the Europeans. Oh my gosh. And even the coloring looks like, is it John Higgins? Is that the guy that colored Watchmen? I'm not getting any work done. But this stuff is great, you guys. If you have a chance, definitely go pick up some of this stuff. And oh, this is Belial. This stuff is freaking weird, man. But I love this stuff. I think they used one of his stories in Heavy Metal, the cartoon. But you can see, like, I'm totally into, like, Zin's got the pyramid, floating pyramid over his head and stuff. Like, I'm so into this stuff. It's weird and cool, and the designs are so, like, organic, but outside the box. Look at this shot. Man. This is all hand painted as well. Oh, I love this. Where the guy drops out. I guess he's frozen and he hits the ground and his leg just snaps off. It's weird stuff, man. Yeah, I'm getting inspired. It looks like he might have thawed out. And so now he's got this guy's welding a robotic leg onto him. Weird sci-fi stuff. I wouldn't know because I can't read it because I don't know what's going on here. It's all in some kind of foreign language. But yeah, it's cool. It's weird, and I love it. And then there's I just bought a bunch of books, man. I carried all this stuff home from Canada. But this is like a series of his illustrations and drawings. It's just beautiful stuff. It's all like kind of hippie looking stuff. it looks, sometimes it looks almost underground, like the Freak Brothers, or what was R. Crumb. It's kind of like Crumb. I thought had a little bit of that kind of European ink work. Yeah, I liked those guys early on when I broke into the business. I was kind of working with I was working with Jim Valentino, and it was like deep indie stuff, but it was also like deep indie, like the drug culture stuff, like the Freak Brothers and R. Crumb and oh my gosh, what was the other guy's name? But I remember San Diego Comic-Con, going to a party with those guys. Holy crap, man. You could barely see across the room. There was so much pottage floating around. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Those guys, were fun. They're like weirdly deep. I think when you get high and you start, you start pontificating and have like these deep thoughts, and you probably think you're way more interesting than you are. I'm not saying that those guys weren't interesting, but when I do it or did it, um, yeah, it's definitely the drug culture. And I wonder if I still have any of that Freak Brothers stuff. I used to like that. Yeah, so I'm really all over the place stylistically. I like a lot of different styles, a lot of different artists. Um, I think life's would be pretty boring if we didn't shake it up every once in a while and try different things. So that's what Chrono is, anyways. It's really an experiment. It's me flexing my muscles and trying different things. I hope you guys like it because I'm having a ball. I know it's not exactly mainstream fare, and I don't know, for the lack of a better word, challenging, especially based on stuff that I've done before. Um, but I'm having a ball, and I appreciate every time one of you guys back a book or give me a shout out or whatever, because I could draw in a vacuum forever, but well, I can't actually forever because I have to pay my mortgage and feed my family. But um, I could draw in a vacuum here and never sell anything. But it's good to have that kind of support, and it also encourages a creative person like myself to try new things and to go in different directions. Although, my follow-up is pretty much going to be black and white, which is going to have, it's going to be in a similar, well, it's going to be in the same style as volume 1. And I have something planned after that, and it's going to be a sexy departure, let's just say that. At this point, I think all I can tell you is hot chicks on motorcycles. I like motor vehicles. I like motorcycles. I don't ride anymore, but I like that stuff. So, and I believe, unless things have changed or will change over time, but the cover to Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff too, volume 2 is going to have a preview of what I'm talking about. So the cover will be the new concept. So I can't wait to find time to draw more of that. So everybody's like, you draw great women. Why don't you do more like hot chick books? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I also strangely don't want to be known as like, oh, he's the hot chick artist. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but I'm telling you, you could make so much more money, or I could make so much more money if that's all I did, though. Just draw hot chicks. Okay. But then we would have no Chrono. So yeah, like I said, anything could change, but that's kind of the plans right now. So Black and White Volume 2, Oodles 2, and then whatever new comes along, which will probably be the book that I'm telling you about. Yeah, so it'll be cool. I'm just gonna structure Caravaggio's hair in here because I'm gonna bring a brush in and finish off his hair. He's got dark hair. Oh, and my wife wanted me to tell you guys that all the PDFs have went out, and I believe she got a shipment of books out today, and we I can't wait. I'm gonna blast my printer so bad. He's doing a great job, but he's so difficult to work with. And we were supposed to, he said if I get the last payment this week, you'll get, by the end of the week, you'll get your books, your black and white books, all of them. So just to back up a little bit, we do have black and white books, but I had to pay their blood money to get an advance shipment here so I could keep my word with you guys. But what he said early in the week, he said, if I get this payment, I'll, they're here, they're in the States. I'll release those to you and you can have them by the end of the week. So, end of the week, we sent the payment. End of the week, we're at the end of the week. And so we talked to him today and he's like, I need actual verification. Once the money actually goes through, then I'll send you the books. And I was like, you never said that. And also, it's already been days. I have a receipt of the transaction. I can send that to you as proof if you're that paranoid. But he's like, no. So we should get we should get all the rest of the books this coming week. Unless, he's going to pull more shenanigans, which I wouldn't put it past him at this point. And I can't wait to be able to blast him because I got stories for you guys. It's not an excuse for why the books. Oh, what am I looking for? Oh, I'm looking over here. It's not an excuse, but it is a reason why you guys didn't get your black and whites earlier. Where am I? I'm looking up reference for, oh, there we go. For Zen spots. Okay. He's got one there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Put one here. This one is there, and it's smaller. Yeah, I cannot believe like the hanky panky and just the hurdles for just really basic stuff. And he's lied to us. He's done a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'll never work for them again or with them again. And like I said, I'm going to blast them. And since then, I've talked to a lot of my friends that have, published and stuff. And they've used this guy. And they said the same thing. After working with him on a project, they would never work with him again. So he's not going to get a lot of repeat customers. And like I said, I'm not a vindictive guy per se, but this guy it's pretty much blackmail what he's done to me and this campaign. So That's why I'm at this state or this stage. Yeah, I cannot believe this guy. And there's really no reason for him to even be doing most of it. You ever met anybody that's just kind of like there's no rhyme or reason? The only explanation for their actions that you can come up with is that they're just innately an asshole. Like, like you know, like there's some people like you go, oh well, he's an asshole, but he's a fun asshole, or he's an asshole, you know, based on a single action that they did or whatever. But there's these people that are like innately, like by default, they're just a-holes. And I think this guy, just by default, he is an a-hole because, man, just every step of the way has been way harder than it has to be. Yeah, I don't like the guy. And just like trust is a two-way street too. When they go, oh, well, we need the payment or whatever, and it's like, well, we gave you, you know, we've made all the payments along the way. You know, trust is a two-way street. So at this point, the books are already here in the States, unless you're lying to us again. So at that point, when we say we sent the payment to you, we have the receipt, you know, from the transaction with the bank, we can furnish that to you, and you're still like, no, I need that money deposited. Then you're just kind of like, well, hasn't at some point these transitions have to have some kind of trust. I had an editor like that at DC. I would love to name names because this guy was the same kind of a-hole, and he went, have you sent the page, Art? And I said, yeah. He said, did you email it to me, like a small version of it to my email? Send it to my email. I said, no, I sent it to the DC server. That's what I'm supposed to do. I finish a page, I scan it, and I put it on template, and then I send it to your server. Excuse me, I was drinking some tea, which is what I don't need right now. I'm pretty hyper. And so then he says to me, that's not good enough. I go, well, what do you mean it's not good enough? He goes, well, how do I know you sent the page? I'm like, this is weird. What do you mean, how do you know if I sent the page or not? He goes, well, if you don't email me a version of it, how do I know? I go, it's on your server. It's on the DC server. Like, what else do you need? Go to the DC server. And then he's like, oh, well, I really need you to just email me a version. And just out of like, I'm a busy guy. Now I have to convert the file into something smaller that I can send in the form of an email. And I can do this just because you're saying that I'm a liar. And I said, no, I said, it's on your server. I said, go to the server and you'll see the artwork there. And it was really weirdly confrontational for no reason at all. Like, listen, man, I had worked with him on other projects, and I think I had already turned in some pages prior to that. So he knew I was good for it. He knew I wasn't a flake. So some people are just innately a-holes. Guy, I wish I could say the guy's name. That guy was such a d-hole. How do I know you sent it? I don't know. Oh, that's what it was. I threw it back in his face later. I said, oh, have you sent the check out? He says, yeah, the check went out. And then I said, well, how do I know you sent the check out? Like, if we're going to play this game, then two can play at it too. At some point, you got to trust the people you're working with. You can't treat them like that. Okay. Let me go to the chat. Where are my glasses? There's my glasses. You know, I think after I catch up on the chat, I'll show you guys some stuff that I found, some sketches, some behind the scenes stuff. Hey, we got Death Metal Hero. Cool name, dude. You are the coolest. We're getting all the Dan Frega people. Was rocking another Sandman shirt today. Oh, cool. Death Metal Heroes all over the place. Along with Matt Kevlar. Okay. We're talking about 70s rock bands. Oh, cool. What? Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I thought they were corny like later when they were doing all the ballad stuff, but I thought before that, I thought they were pretty badass. Corny, the first three album Aerosmith records are absolutely essential listening as far as rock goes. Steep drop off in quality after that. Unlistenable in the yes. Thank you, Central Scrutinizer. You've just earned your keep here. I agree. What is it when they started? Jenny's got a gun. Oh, geez, really? What was that one? When I close my eyes and I miss you, or I don't want to miss a thing, or whatever that. Oh, come on, you guys. Really? You sold out. You sold out, man. Ooh, Matt loves the dots and dashes because they give things energy. Yes, they do. And trust me, it'd be a lot easier just to do a straight line. It takes less time. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hells yeah. You know what? Even metalheads got to put their groceries away. They're not going to put themselves away. Okay. Damn, look at all these cows lured by rock talk. Rock is cool, man. People think rock is dead. There's like these little Orange County clubs that my daughter and I used to go to. And there were some really cool bands. There was a band called Get Scared. They're more like new metal, I guess, but they're kind of poppy for kids too. There was a band called Get Scared. There was a band called something Drive, Moonlit Drive or something Drive, and Escape the Fate, Dead Rabbits, which is some of the Escape the Fate guys, and a band called Black Veil Brides, but they were kind of Kiss-like. They wore makeup and stuff. Is he still living in Europe? I know he moved there for a while. He was doing stuff for that Metal Hurlant or whatever. Yeah. That guy's a badass. He's a weirdo too. I like that. I like his weird art. I didn't sell my soul, but you know what? It felt like I did. I paid their blood money. I think I paid $400, almost $500 to get a box of black and white comics in. They say early, but they really were just on time with what they originally promised. And I did that just so I could keep my word with you guys, the backers. So yeah, I don't look back. Am I coming across angry? I hope not, because I'm really not angry. I'm probably just very serious. Sometimes my friends go, "Oh, you seem angry," and because I guess I'm always kind of upbeat like this, and when I just talk normal, they think I'm angry. So I'm really not angry. You're welcome. You're welcome, death metal. You're welcome. Hey, we got Mikey. Mikey's in the house. It's not a party until Mikey gets in here. All right. I'm gonna get back to. Oh no! I said I was gonna show you guys some stuff. Oh, this was a fun little. Let me move this out so you guys can see it better. Let me put a cap on my ink. This was like Fox used to have these Pitchorama things. So I thought it would be fun to do a little like pitch for Fox, Fox Animation, Fox TV, the Simpsons guys. And so myself in the studio, we banged this out in like a couple days. And so we just kind of did this Chrono Mechanics. It's called Quantum Mechanics at the time. So we just put this thing together. It was kind of a pitch book in the form of a comic book. So it kind of explains the concept of Chrono Mechanics and the new recruit Doug. Things have changed quite a bit since then, but it was like the basic, I guess, DNA is here. Some of the style stuff is here as well. Not quite to what it's been honed later, but this is the elucidator right here. So the elucidator was created for this story. And I think this is just recruits. So they're trying to recruit these guys. And one of the things about the Chrono Mechanics is they had these barcodes on their heads. So that's how Chrono Incorporated keeps track of them. So yeah, there was this. I kind of moved pretty fast on it. I think probably because the artwork isn't all that great, but it's fun. So let me see what I haven't looked at this yet. Let's see what all this stuff is. So what is this? Layouts. We don't need to see that. So these are just like layout ideas. So this is like graphically. Sometimes I'll do stuff like that for like covers and back covers and things. I think that's what that one was for. And so here's an early Caravaggio drawing. Like I think I think the ritual was that I would put my 8 to 10 hours in on Marvel DC stuff, and then I'd go home and I'd just doodle. So a lot of this stuff is just me doodling in front of the TV, hanging out with my family. So this was a doodle for the cooling system, some of the Chrono Mechanics machinery. So there's that. These are kind of, I think they call them character one sheets or something like that. So they're like a series of drawings where you do different emotions of the characters. So this is early Oot development. I think this is pretty much the way he looks in the comic book. I don't think it is too much of a departure from there. So I did multi-pages playing with logo ideas. So I thought this would be fun, so you can see all the work that goes into making a comic book before the comic. And a lot of this stuff is going to be in the work in progress sketchbook that's up on Indiegogo right now. So if you're, I should probably post some of this stuff up. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do an update, a Chrono update, and put some of this stuff up on the site so you can see what the work in progress sketchbook will look like. So this is an idea for Chrono Incorporated, the offices. So these are my little thumbnails, my little pen and ink drawings. Here's a panel layout you'll see in the book. Let me see what else I got here. Oh, this is these were layouts for the pitch book, the animation pitch book. So I did the layouts to give to my graphics guy to put together. So this is Mo, Quickie Time Guy. So these are my little thumbnails for layouts. Here's another one for the, and I think I'm going to put the animation pitch book in the work in progress as well. This is hilarious. This is Quantum Mechanics logo. And you can see it says Comic Craft here. And so I remember talking with them, and they were like, the logo could never work. The logo could never work. And so, you know, this is the closest that they could come to getting it to work. And then a friend of mine who does graphics took my thumbnail idea and made it work. But I mean, it's not bad, but it's definitely not the cool Chrono logo that we have now. So here's an early version of just playing with logo designs and stuff. So a lot goes into this. Here's just a layout of something. Maybe it was a cover or some kind of idea. They look pretty weird there. Excuse me. Here's kind of a breakdown of the structure of Doug's head. The D helped to establish the planes on the face and everything. So you can see he's got the barcode on the side of his head. Yeah. Oh, this is fun. This is early Zen. So he had the Trinity gem, but he's a far cry from what he is now. Oh, geez, look at this. There's Doug. Oh my gosh, it's a horrible drawing. Yeah, this is just, some of this stuff's just me messing around, like I said, in front of the TV set. It's like an early Oot idea. He had like the hair all the way down the back. The hair on his head went all the way down to the back of his back there. So here's like just little ballpoint pen scribbles trying to figure out Oot as a caveman, his body type and profile. Oh, these are fun. This is an early Chronomite. You could see at this point they really look like what was his name? Slimer from Ghostbusters. So they've changed a little bit since then, but it definitely looks like Slimer. So even then I was geared up to do like turnarounds, kind of more animation stuff. Here's an early Caravaggio. Oh, this would be cool to put in the sketchbook. It's the three of them, their facial structures and everything. I'm going to keep this one out. This is kind of inspiring. Ooh, we have the Zen kind of character sheet. All the different emotions and looks. I like the bent neck. Oh, here's the more, here's the Chronomites here. So this is, you saw the early kind of Slimer version. So these are the newer versions. So there's kind of a peaceful one, and then there's the more aggressive, you know, technivores are what we're calling them. So they're basically like gremlins. They're time gremlins. They hang out in the time stream, and they eat any tech and any metal or machinery that comes into the time stream. Here's another Oot idea. There's a lot of different ideas that go in. This is cool. I think this was for some licensing ideas. So they're in their different kind of using their different machinery. We had a toy deal, or I had a toy deal. I keep saying we. I guess me and my wife, with a toy manufacturer, and they had like a disc sander, a drill, a torch, and I don't know. I don't think it was a wrench. It was something else. And so I was doing different like ideas for packaging for the toys. It obviously didn't happen, but we did have prototypes at one of the San Diego Comic Cons. So here's early ballpoint pen drawings of Caravaggio. A layout idea for something. I don't know what this was for. Oh, these are like different cover ideas. I think the idea behind this is Doug is jamming, and the other three mechanics are just not digging it. So it's like Doug jamming on stage, and the other mechanics just losing their minds, like plugging their ears. And this one looks like he's trying to unplug Doug. And so then this is kind of the same idea. Caravaggio's over here trying to unplug, and Oots just burning the set down. And that's pretty much what these ideas are, I think. Oh, these are cool. My friend did these based on like a layout that I came up with. And I thought these were cool graphic, like patch ideas. If we go far enough along with the campaign with Chrono Mechanics, I would love to do another embroidered patch like we did with Black and White, because these would be amazing. I like the Team 9.2, Sector 7, Chrono Mechanics, and there's 4 stars for the 4 mechanics. So I thought these were cool, the different types. Here's a Oot breakdown. This kind of structure. Ooh, what is this? What is this? Oh, just a bunch of different ideas for Caravaggio. I like the one where he's mad. He looks kind of Grinch-like. His mustache kind of crinkles up on the ends, but he's kind of like a bowling pin like structure. So one of the fun things about animation is you could come up with like these shapes, and then you build the character around these core shapes. He's kind of not happy right there. So here's we called him the quantum administrator at this point, but he's the elucidator now. Yeah. So he's the one that's going to basically be the narrator or your guide through the sketchbook. There's another alternate Zen. He didn't have squid feet. Oh, this is cool. This is Doug as Ted Nugent. So it's got the Doug structure, but he's got Ted Nugent hair, the headband, and the beard. And he's doing the patented yank me, crank me, don't you wake me to thank me, or whatever that song was. I don't remember. Oh, here's the foreman. So this gets explained. I'm going to use this idea in the new version that we have the Indiegogo up for right now. Oh, this is pretty elaborate. Here's another take on Zen. Yeah, he's getting his. You can see this is probably closest to the one that I ended up using. So he's got kind of the Mobius hat on. He's got the little like collar, and then he's got the tunic, and he's got the squid feet and the suction cup fingers. So, here's some time ships and the Quickie Time guys ship, just like little doodles. Yeah, I have stacks of this stuff, you guys. I should get back to work. Let me see if there's anything else that's worth showing. This is toy book. I don't know what these are. Oh, this is the idea for the poster that's up on the Indiegogo. So these are alternate ideas for the World Tour poster. Yeah, here's I think I was playing around with different background ideas here. So yeah, so there's that. So let me move. Well, I guess I can keep that there. I just gotta make sure I don't throw any ink at it. Otherwise, I'll throw ink all over my drawings. So I'm gonna structure these guys up a little bit more. Where's my pen at? There it is. And then I'm gonna call it a day. So thanks, guys, for checking out, going down memory lane with my Chrono stuff. But yeah, there's a little bit of love, there's a little bit of work gone into these wacky time repairmen. Definitely not a fly-by-night idea that I just threw together. Okay, I think I'm going to move on from that panel. I'm going to try to get some of this panel structured up so I can do the details later. How's the camera still looking? I think it's still looking good. So, man, you guys got quite a Chrono education there. Everything you wanted to know about chrono mechanics, but were afraid to ask. So I'm pretty warmed up, so I can move faster. Yeah, I'm using the old image board. This stuff is like inking on glass. I found a case of it. I also found a bunch of old image like notebooks and stuff. Maybe on one of, I've been playing with the idea of doing something on YouTube with you guys where I either ask you some kind of trivial question, like trivia question, or maybe a trivia question regarding chrono mechanics or something, or my career, or I don't know. That's the hard part, is trying to figure out what the questions would be. But ask you questions, and then the first one in the chat that answers the question, maybe I could send some of this stuff along, because I found there's some black and white postcards, like image postcards that I found. And like I said, image notebooks. They're like peachy folders, and they have the image logo on them and stuff like that. But I have a whole case of them outside in the garage. So I don't really have any use for them, and there's so many of them. I was thinking maybe you guys might think they were cool. They're probably not worth anything, but it might be cool to have some old like image paraphernalia, because this would definitely be early mid 90s, I guess. This stuff would be from. So that might be cool. Also, I have some quantum mechanics folder, like not folders, posters, like promotional posters that I could probably. The reason I don't like to do those is because they're 11 by 17 and they're a little expensive to ship. to ship them intact. So maybe if I folded them, it'd be a shame to kind of fold them though, but then I could ship them and not break the bank. Or if you guys would want to chip in for the shipping, then I could make those available and use those as fun little trivia rewards. I don't know. I've been thinking about spicing it up a little bit here, making it more interactive, and also in a way giving back to you guys for so much, with the subs and just hanging out in the chat with me and stuff. I think it'd be fun. It could be sad though if I asked you a question and it was like very personal, like what was my first project ever, and then nobody answers, or something that seems like it would be really obvious, and then I find out nobody really knows my career or my characters. That could just be sad. I'm just playing, you guys. I know you know everything. Everything there is to know about me. So yeah, it's nice and warm here today in the house. If you guys are just tuning in, I got a new heater. 2 new heating units put into the house. So now we won't be frozen T-bear sickles. My daughter's going to come home and not know what to do. She's not going to have 1,000 blankets on her tonight. Yeah, it's really a nice temperature in here. I really liked the, we had the heating blankets, and I would work with the heating blanket on. But man, sometimes when you're working and you forget that it's on there, and then you're just like, I'm really uncomfortable. And then you realize you have had this heating blanket on you for the last 3 hours, cranked to 6. And you're like, oh, that's why. That's why I'm uncomfortable. I'm kind of warm. So, see how much I can get done in the next. Let me see what time it is. I'm going to time myself. All right. It's 10 to 9 California. So I'm going to see how much I can get done in 10 minutes. Quality, though. It has to be quality. So yeah, this is page 18 of Chrono Mechanics. And so I'm working from a layout that I did and breakdowns from Rendar Contendar. I miss that guy. We didn't hang out this past weekend. We try to hang out every couple weeks. He lives here in California, but he lives more LA, and I'm more Orange County, so it's a little bit of a drive. It's a way bit of a drive. He's also a cool sounding board for the Chrono ideas. So when we get together, I run stuff by him. He's like, sounds good, but who's going to draw it? You, my friend. We're going to have a full-on alien armada. and you are going to draw that. There's 200 different alien races, and you have to come up with design work for every one of them. I always thought that that would be the coolest part of being a writer, where you could just, write a single paragraph, and then just the penciler would have to spend, days trying to figure out how to make it all work. I'm being facetious. That wouldn't be cool. I wonder if any writers get off like that, though. That would be weird. They're just constantly doing stuff like that and just laughing. Look at that guy. He's never going to make his deadline. Okay. Let's get Zin's little force dome projection collar in. Boom. 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 Okay. All right, now I'm going to go to Caravaggio. Sin looks good enough. Good enough for now. I have 5. No. Wow. Okay, I have more time than that. I have like 6 or 7 minutes. Ooh, the heater's going back on. Yes. Money well spent. It's amazing how much you take certain pleasures or certain things for granted, and then when you don't have them, you just revert to caveman status. I'm thinking I need to make a fire right here in the center of the studio. It's the only way to keep myself and my family warm. So this has been brought out a little bit, which means I'm probably gonna, no, it's still, no, I think I need to change the pouch direction a little bit. It looks a little out of perspective. Slightly. Not bad. Doot. Doot. Funky cuffs. Yeah, so this is Caravaggio in Chrono Mechanics form. So they're trying to talk some sense into Doug here. Doug ain't having any of it. He's like, why should I listen to you guys? I'm a rock star, man. Get to do anything I want, anytime I want. Yeah, but we need to fix time. We need to save the universe. I always say fix time, but really what they're doing is they are saving the universe. Time would fall into utter chaos. I mean, the world would fall into utter chaos if we could not regulate time. Think about the world without the ability to tell time. it would be weird. Let me thicken that up a little bit. I like the shape of this foot. I'm going to be quiet because I'm going to see how much I can get done in how many minutes? 5 minutes now. Speed inking. I keep thinking today's Friday. It's not. For some of you, it probably is. But not for me. All right. That suckers in. I'm going to have to clean this nib off, but it's going to take time out of my schedule. I got to get into thinner lines. Okay, let's get this. A few broken lines, little dots and dashes. Let's get this in here. It's got breaks because the first line connects, and then the second one is the edge of the one behind it. So it's not as solid. Wait a minute, what is that? That's not, I got to figure that out. These are the time packs behind them here that I added. Hand will take too long and I'll have to be focused. But maybe I could do the broad strokes of the hand. I want to get as much done as I can before the hour is up. Oh, I should do like a Chrono Mechanics, like time jam or time ink, and see how much I can get done. Like set a time and see if I can finish the piece in that amount of time. It'd be fun for you guys to watch me fall flat on my face. Now that I said it out loud, I'm not sure if it's a good idea. All right, here's his hammer, his thumb. Let's get some more of his work suit in. Okay. I'm not even going to get into the face right now. Never ink a face when you're trying to ink fast. It's dangerous. I don't really like that arm. I'm going to have to work that arm a little bit. All right. Let's see what time it is. Oh, maybe I could correct it in the inks. All right, do some of this. Fist probably should go up higher based on the perspective. Put that in there. All right. Pins up. All right. That was fun. So give you guys a once over. So there's our team. And they kind of just, this is the after effects of them powering up. So they just suited up and they're trying to get Doug on the same page. They're a little bit shaming him right here. And there's some finger pointing going on. And this panel right here, I reworked it this morning, the pencils on it. Man, I think the perspective and the composition, I'm really happy with this thing. I think it came out great. They're walking back to the time ship, leaving Doug behind. So there's this, and then I showed this early on. This is the page afterwards. And I worked on this on one of the streams as well. So if you want to go back in some of the YouTube history, you can see me working on this. So we're back at the 50s Cafe. Well, it's the same location. It popped into existence. I think it's one of the pages that's on the Indiegogo site. So that's that. Let me see. Oh, we got Christina. Hey, Christina, thank you so much for posting the links and stuff. You're a great asset here. I appreciate all the shout outs. If I could give you a wrench, if I knew how to give you a wrench, I'd give you a wrench. I don't know how to do it on through StreamYard. I know how to do it through the normal YouTube way, but I do not know how to do it this way. So we got Mikey. Mikey is heating up the chat here. Oh, we have Awful Redneck Gaming. 45 years tops. What you guys are talking about? Slayer, Motley Crue. Didn't Motley Crue ever retire? Aren't they done? I don't know. I really don't want to see these guys get much older than they are now. I heard, God, what was it? It was maybe a year or so ago, Vince Neil singing live. Not good. Not good. He makes what is his name? Paul Stanley look great. And if anybody's heard Paul Stanley lately, not good. One of my my top videos, YouTube videos, is where we talk about Paul Stanley lip syncing in a Kiss corner. BTS stuff. What is BTS? Same with music. Rough demos. Oh yeah. Yeah, Justice for All. Yeah, some good stuff, man. Okay, definitely shades of Mobius in that one. Yeppa. I am filtering. I am channeling. I am swiping. I'm not swiping. Retro image collectible. Sweet. Oh, you guys are talking about the notebooks. Yeah, I'll find those and I'll show those to you and see if there's anything. Yeah, we can give all kinds of stuff. Well, I'd love to even buy one or get one of the remaining ash can. I mean, we could do something like that. Yeah, I just want to try to make it more interactive and to thank you guys for all the support. I'd like to see you do it, man. I don't even think you could draw 52 pages horribly in a half hour. Oh yeah, actually, what is his name? Roger Daltrey, man. That guy. Yes, some of those guys still have their voices. It's pretty crazy. I heard somebody. Who was it recently? I can't remember, but guy still had his voice. Oh, behind the scenes. Okay. Yeah, I love behind the scenes stuff. I used to, when Blu-ray first started, to entice people to spend more money on Blu-ray, there always used to be some great extras. They stopped doing that now, and like Marvel did a lot of cool stuff early on, and now they just do like the patented, like, it's all processed and behind the scenes, like, it's all scripted and sterile. I don't like to see that stuff. I like to see some, like, really raw stuff. I like to see people interviewed in a very candid way. There's one, it's a behind the scenes of Blade Runner. It's like 4 or 5 discs. That thing is awesome. I guess everybody can speak candidly now because, they all have successful careers, and there's no worry that some, like the director or that the production company is going to come back on you. But man, it is really good. Really, really good. I might watch that again. It's hours of viewing. Now they don't pay yeah, they don't they don't put any extras really on it, and if they do, they're just kind of like they just feel like propaganda, like they're all scripted and everything. Oh, I really love Marvel comics, like, that kind of, like BS. No, I want dirt. But I want like creative, like I like creative behind the scenes stuff. I don't like kiss and tell stuff. I don't really care about that. I want to know like creative behind the scenes. That stuff actually inspires me. I wish there was more of that on YouTube. Oh yeah, Battle Angel. That's one of the last ones that truly has a lot of good behind the scenes stuff in it. Yeah, thank you, Mikey Woods. All right, you guys. Well, hey, thank you so much for keeping me company and hanging out with me on this string. I think it's fun. It kind of helps pass the time. And I showed some early stuff. Maybe I'll do that again, some of the sketchbook stuff. And I'll scan some of this and put it up on the Indiegogo site so people can see, what they can expect with the sketchbook. So I'm putting more ideas together now for the sketchbook. And here is a Chrono link. Did it go up? Yeah. Here's a Chrono link. It's also in the description. So if you guys haven't, please go check it out. There's some good stuff there. And I believe we're about 12, 13 days away from ending the campaign. So thanks, you guys. Get a little tired here. Have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. I believe, Durakan, we're on for a pontificators tomorrow, so that should be fun. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and take care.